Hello, welcome back. It's your favorite nutritionist and coach. Today's topic is all about visualizations. So stick around if you would like to boost up your visualization abilities, skill sets, and fine tune into what you're going to focus on next for 2026, 2027. It could be a quarterly visualization. It could be a sport or health or fitness visualization. I'm going to share my screen and we can get straight into it. Remember, you can bring a pen and paper if you would like to take notes and stick around so we can hang out. I just got some bee pollen recently. And I'm trying that out. Let me make sure my screen is available to share because I was looking up the benefits. I remember this ingredient from a long time ago, bee pollen. So I'm like, let me research the benefits. I just picked some up, so I'm gonna implement it into my routine. All right, so let's close the gap. Here today, executive coach on for today. Okay. So the space between now and what is next. Okay, so you might be feeling that you are ready for more in your life. You know that you are. You're still waking up the current version of yourself with your routine through a life stage you might have just jumped into. For example, you might have gotten a promotion at work. You might have had a new baby in the family. You might have moved home. You might have gotten into a new relationship. You might be newly married or engaged. There's always something now happening, and then there's something next happening. And we've all gone through these transitions, processes, feelings. You might be pregnant, expecting a baby. If you are going through any sort of change, growth, this chat is for you. Okay, so when it comes to relationships, we have friendships, we have our intimate relationships, we have our corporate relations, and that these relationships are very high on recording, important to make sure that they are aligned on every level. Do you want to be in my recording?
No,
Oh,
but
you, you want to come back in 10 in at 3 p.m.?
oh no, I just came back to say Merry Christmas if I don't see you.
Okay, Merry Christmas.
And thanks again.
You sure you don't want to be in my video?
If you want me to be in the video of me hugging you.
Come. I'm putting it on YouTube. Come into my virtual office. This is Susanna, one of our team.
Merry Christmas! Season's greetings to you and your family.
This is the online community. We are doing a
Yeah.
visualization exercise.
Oh, it's
All righty. So, Merry Christmas.
great. You
Chat
see,
soon. I'll send you the pictures from today. All right. So, whether you are looking at building a healthier version of you, a wealthier version of you, and really getting in tune with your body, your business, or you are manifesting or working in your home, whether you're decluttering your home life, you are redesigning, reshaping a lifestyle that matches your inner soft power or strong power, maybe more so if you are a male. There's often a gap between where you are and where you desire to be. And if you are on the growth train or trajectory, like many of us in the My Green Balance community are, there is always something that we are striving for. We prioritize growth a lot here because there's a lot of life that can be stagnant if we accept a level of, well, everything is fine, everything's okay, that sort of mindset where the home begins to accumulate clutter and we get lazy and we forget that when we are striving towards a goal or to another level of life, That is what keeps us energized, focused, and always looking forward to something coming in the future. And that keeps us strongly and swiftly moving forward on times where life may feel a bit too stagnant. And the trick is really in aligning with what's for you. So if you've seen something for your future, you want to really step into the version of you that is aligned to experience this level of life experience. For example, you have decided you want to be an athlete. Well, you might have to start with going to the gym 3 days a week or creating an exercise routine to get you into the habit and practice that is aligned with that of an athlete. And visualization is not just wishful thinking, it is a neurological rehearsal. Whether first thing in the morning you are visualizing in your meditations, an email you have to send, a meeting that's going to happen. You can mentally process how you would like certain items in your calendar trajectory to unfold, or at least do a rehearsal so that when you show up at that time in your schedule, you have some idea of what you want to accomplish. Okay, so some athletes and professionals do this in the morning, some take time during lunch, some take time during the evening as a wind down, before bed or straight after work to cleanse from the corporate workspace and move into the family space. So it's a transitional exercise, whether you're moving from sleep to being awake and productive, or productive to taking time to lunch or be a mindful consumer, etc., etc. Right. And so this is neuroscience. It's not fluff, and this is real practices and behaviors that the best athletes in the world use through practice and training so that given the race days and times, they show up to win. Okay. So it does include praying, which is a conscious prayer life is known for bringing spiritual health to a person. Planning, we know that scheduling planning is very important to get anything done. Again, you'll hear me say regularly, if it's not in your calendar, it does not exist. And you can plan weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly. It's important to do planning and to really position yourself for partnerships with life, love, and God of your own understanding timeline. All right. A guided visualization. So you can use this daily or weekly. And the first step, many people ask me, well, how do you do a meditation for beginners, or what is the practice like? And you want to find a space that's calm. You can sit outside in a garden and find a Zen space. You can sit by the ocean. You can sit on the beach. You can find something that brings you to a feeling of being grounded. Some people ask, well, Annick, what is grounded? And that's okay if that's a question that you have. And grounded is a feeling like just steady. Um, you don't feel any anxiety or electrical charge from overstimulation. You're just feeling in tune with the nature and with your body and with your breath and your environment. So these are concepts of what it is to get grounded. So you want to sit comfortably, and you can sit in a chair, you can sit in a yogi seated position, you can sit in a way that makes you feel comfortable, and you tune into your breathing to do deep breath work. You want to let your body soften, let your mind settle as you focus on deep inhalations and cleansing exhalations. It is normal when you are focusing on your breathing to observe thoughts starting to flow through your mind, and you can look at them almost like clouds passing through the wind. You can look at them as you are looking at a movie, just scenes passing in front of them. There's a difference between being attached to your thoughts and observing your thoughts from a different perspective. This is the concept of how you're able to look at a mindful practice and do visualization work from using this technique. All right, so let's say you want to picture your next year's self. And people have said to me, Annick, sometimes I don't recognize all of you with these transformations that you've done. I used to be brunette, for example, and different style and aesthetic. The tip is that there's a version that I desire to style for my shape, size, my aesthetic to what makes me feel happy as a brand. And that's what I invite you to do because each person might have their own style that they want to develop into. And you might go through magazines looking for styles. You might go through, you know, uh, different shops that you like to shop at, different makeup that you want to have, or hair products, or home. You might be renovating a home. Whatever floats your boat, whatever you're picturing for your next year self, it could be a healthier version of yourself that, is going to fitness classes or wearing more exercise clothes, having new sneakers, whatever it is. You want to picture yourself actually having that acquired and living that real life experience. And that is how to see where you are relative to where you wish to be. And we can go deeper. You can say, well, what does your day feel like when you wake up in this new setting? Who are you next to? Who's texting you good morning? Are you calling anyone? What clothes are you wearing? Is it a brand? Is it a material? Is it a color? Is it a style? What do you eat for breakfast? How does your body feel in movement? What projects or partnerships are on your desk? What is a priority for you? What is not a priority for you? These are things you want to get super, super clear on. Step 3, you want to connect to your emotional signature. How does peace feel in my body, in my chest, in my mind? What does it sound like? What does ease sound like in my environment, in my thoughts? How does love feel when it is safe and steady? What actions am I prioritizing in a day-to-day life to make sure I feel safe and my loved ones feel safe and steady? How do I know I'm showing up best for my work and for my roles in life? For example, as a male, you may have roles of just being a guy. You may have a role of being a husband. You may have a role of being a corporate person or working. You may have a role of being a dad. There are different roles. Similarly with women. As a woman, you have a role of being a female, a woman. You have a role of being a mom, a wife, a lady, a corporate person. There are different roles. It doesn't make you more or less than as a man or woman. It is that there are roles within each human to attend to. When you connect with these parts of you, you can know, well, which hat do I put on for which task? So that it becomes a lot clearer for you to connect with your core self, your purpose, and understand how to show up in the world. What does each situation call from you. How do I know I'm financially supported and emotionally free? These could be questions to remind yourself of where you feel supported and to recall positive memories, experiences where you do feel supported and build on that as opposed to recalling negative experiences and dwelling on those. I hope you can see the contrast of what you prioritize recalling and holding in your emotional signature and psychological space as a priority to the adverse side of that. Hope you're following. Okay, I'm trying to make this make sense. All right, and you want your body to memorize this version of you. For example, you may do some yoga stretches with these or exercise while you are prioritizing these visualizations and breathing through them. You want to move your body. There are many wellness techniques for movement that you can choose a version that suits you. It could be walking, it could be stretching, it could be working out. Step 4, you invite divine timing. Dear God, I release false deadlines. I'm not late, I'm not early, I'm exactly where I need to be, and I'm ready to receive my next chapter with grace and groundedness. You can say, I am so pleased for all the abundance coming into my life that is right on track with everything I've called in for, specifically for my divine purpose. I'm grateful that I get to live in my divine purpose every day, every moment, every breath. I'm grateful that I have space and people to serve. I'm grateful for the family and friends that I have around me that are supportive and that remind me that I am loved deeply and cared for. These are important when setting health goals because it's so easy that when changing behaviors, there can be circumstances that may make you feel a bit isolated and in your growth trajectory, there are people who may feel a bit upset to see another person growing. So we invite people to grow with us because it's not to say, oh, we are leaving anyone behind. Everyone is invited. It's just if you choose to apply the discipline and the work required to accumulate what is going to be able to be accumulated but held steady. So whether that's your new habits that you're stacking for fitness, you're getting fitness products, exercise materials, whatever you're investing in, or you're investing into homes, real estate, businesses, or you're investing into your travel upgrades, you're flying first class, you're in the lounges, you are shopping online more regularly, or you're shopping locally more regularly. These are totally up to you how you wish to experience life because it is such a unique experience, and only you know deep down inside with you God of your own understanding what brings your heart joy and purpose and fulfillment because it's so easy to look at someone's life and say, oh, they have that, I want that. But then you attain it and it doesn't make you happy or fulfilled. And I've seen that play out time and time again. So I remind people tap into your heart and what you visualize specifically for you and your life, and try not to compare, contrast, or just want what other people have because it doesn't always work out to feel good if you just get something because someone else has it. What you really want is to tap into what you really want, what experience you really want to have as a person, and to try to be as authentic as possible when you show up and ask for things or envision a version of you that you could actually try to imagine coming to life. Not trying to be like someone else, but a version of yourself. That's important. And step 5 is you want to take action from the visualization. So you ask yourself, What can I do today that the next year version of me already does? Is it sending more emails? Is it creating more experiences to go on boat rides with your friends at your vacation homes, planning in advance, traveling as a friendship group, going to Pilates classes together, having coffee with your friends, spending more time with your prioritized connections? Do you need to set boundaries with anyone? Do you need to say no to certain things, yes to more things? Are you open to love? Are you open to giving and receiving love? Are you prioritizing time to give and receive, and not only to others, but also to yourself? Remember, in any airplane, you will always be reminded that if there's an event or circumstance where the plane needs to crash, you must put on your oxygen mask first before attending to anyone else. Okay, we're wrapping up. So I will give you a takeaway, and that will be to take one aligned action today, not out of hustle, but out of trust. You really want to trust yourself. Doing these habits and routines and repetitions really gives you as a human the ability to learn how to trust yourself. And in this world, that is what you need to feel more so than trusting anyone else. Because the more you trust yourself, you know what you're capable of, you can communicate your capabilities, you can understand how to operate within a team and communicate based on your team's strengths and weaknesses because you know what you could do, and each team member gets to communicate what they can do. And with that, in a team, whether your team is work or family, this is where the real next level really is. As a reminder to you, whether you're trying to have a baby or you are waiting for a process in life, there is no rush in the kingdom of alignment. When you move in sync with your higher self, your grounded reality, and God's timing, the gap closes naturally. It's not about chasing, it's about receiving and becoming. The way to be aligned with all that you call in and all that you are is to keep grounded, keep in your breath work, and keep focusing on being productive, consistent, and healthy because it takes consistency over time, not just to lose 50 pounds but to keep those 50 pounds off and to understand that the habits that got you to the 50 pounds are not going to be the habits that you have when you lose those 50 pounds. And that is a whole version of alignment to your healthier self because you will need to shop for more clothes. You will need to have a different routine. And these changes will serve you way better than what got you to those 50 pounds. This is a process of alignment. And there is no rush when it comes to weight loss unless you go on extreme diets and supplements, which a lot of people do, extreme fasting. And some people do get the results fast because they know how to do those crazy diets. But you have to still have the skill set to keep it up long term and apply the fundamentals, what we can teach you to sustain that. So you can get, I don't want to call it a fasting regime and detox and get quick results using meal replacements. You can do that. And I'm not recommending that as a nutritionist because we do recommend food first. However, I've spoken to many people through walks of life, and I'm aware of the level that people do when it comes to weight loss and the supplement industry. So I'm not saying they don't work because sometimes they do, but you still need the skill set to be able to keep it off long term. All right. And so that's the message I really hope hits home there. and for you to be mindful and understanding. Get your results quickly if you want, that you can rush that, but you're going to need the skills to sustain it. So if you're doing an extreme diet, make sure you have the education and skill set to keep that change. And working with a coach is always a great idea because I will tell you, I've tried so many diets over the years, and you can get direct feedback from a coach who has tried it all, been through the research, and get you the answers a lot faster than if you were to go trial and error by yourself trying to figure it out. Okay? And the final takeaway for visualization, just as a close off, is that whatever you can see, you can work on. And I encourage my members to use your mind muscles to work on trying to see a healthier self. What does it look like? And to get in detail of that, okay? So that's it for our visualization chat today. I'm going to sip this green tea and record another one to get another topic. So I'm really loving this virtual office space. I hope you've learned a lot, and you can leave a comment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you feel you are benefiting or if you're practicing your visualizations. I like to do this a lot when planning outfits for traveling. I like to see like, okay, well, what location am I gonna be in? What am I gonna wear? What am I gonna order on the menu? Like I do a lot of visualization work before I arrive somewhere. And it doesn't always go like perfectly according to plan, but it does give a little time saving bonus when I'm in the rush of time or the nick of time and I have to make decisions really quickly. I've kind of already filtered through some options. Like, for example, I have a dish that I'm going to make for a Christmas party. And I'm doing a smoked salmon dip, and I'm trying to decide and visualize because I have to make a dip, and also I will be at work, and also I have to make sure my outfit's gonna be good and my hair. This is just like an example, like a real life example. Make sure my hair is done, my makeup's done, getting from work, getting a dish made, and making sure I'm everywhere on time, right? So I'm making a smoked salmon dish. Now, I could do like an Asian version and put like some sesames and make like a little rice kind of a fried rice cake and put the smoked salmon on top with a little ginger. Or I could do, last year I did like a vegan cream cheese with like capers and put a little lemon and pepper. Or I could do just some smoked salmon with black peppers and just some crackers and keep it simple. Or I could do on toothpicks with like a little olive and like have smoked salmon bites. So I have to make these decisions by tomorrow. So I'm gonna like sit probably on the drive home and try to visualize what I'm gonna do. So like that's how I personally apply visualization as a coach. For an example, maybe you might already notice yourself doing that. So you can apply it to different parts of your life. So whether it's, okay, well, you know what you're wearing, what's matching with what item or meal you're going to have. And you want to give yourself give and take a little wiggle room so that you can adjust or be flexible as necessary, but you have a good idea of where you stand and what your deliverables or desired outcome will look like or feel like. All right, well, I hope that you learned a lot and go get visualizing and chat soon.